What's up, boys? Where we dropping? How we doing? Happy Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. Man, we are halfway through the work week. Hopefully you guys are cruising and enjoying the week of DFS, the week of baseball. The week down here, it's rainy, but it's a happy day because school is back in my area and parents are rejoicing everywhere. Free babysitting. It's a good time of year, man. I love it. So I hope you guys are crushing it in DFS. Last night, Nelson Cruz led all scorers with 34 DKP. He had not one, but 2 homers, 5 ribeye steaks. Then Eli Morgan was number 2. Who played Eli Morgan against the Twins, right? Twins were one of the highest owned, most sought after stacks. And Morgan was able to go out there and get 8 strikeouts, 8 innings, or 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 walks. Big game for Eli Morgan if you had some of him. I did not. I did have plenty of Logan Webb, who ended up being the 3rd highest scorer on the slate, 27 DKP, 7 strong innings out of him. And then we have a mixture of KBO pitchers. Marcus Stroman ends up getting into like the top 5 pitcher list on the slate. So I hope you guys did well last night. There really wasn't like a standout stack outside of like the Rays. Coors kind of hit late, like the regular guys you would have played from Coors. I think Blackman, Fernando Tatis, CJ Cron maybe. Like some of those guys got there halfway through the game. The Nationals popped off early on one of the chalkiest pitchers, Alek Manoah. I was on the wrong side of that one. And I think we said, Riley Adams, catcher, 2,500. Massive game out of him for fantasy. And the White Sox ended up putting some runs in an unfortunate manner. Chris Bassett, one of their rock-steady starters, took a comebacker off the skull early on and only went 1 inning. And then the bullpen came in, and it just wasn't, they took the air out of the team. It was a scary situation, and White Sox ended up putting up some runs. So it wasn't really like a ton of one team full stack, full send go. And the team that did put up double-digit runs was against, a top 3 owned pitcher. So kind of a weird spot. I definitely, thought the Rays always are in play against the Orioles. But what are you going to do? It bees like that sometimes. What up, Rich Homie Quinn? What up, Dang Lazy Mofo? Pinstripe. Yo, Danny's awake? What? Hello, my love. Earth to Air. Hope you guys are doing all right. Solid picks, man. Today we have a little bit more modest, yet still double-digit size slate. 10 games on the docket tonight. No second half doubleheaders. There is some baseball going on right now, so hopefully you guys are doing well if you are playing that. A lot of comments on this morning's first look video were basically people just asking for a breakdown for the early slate. So that might be a topic for community discussion going forward, is when there is a medium-sized early slate, would you rather a breakdown of the early slate versus a first look at the main slate? I feel like that might be something that is wanted. I think one of our most successful VOD videos is actually an early slate breakdown from like a Saturday. So maybe there is not a ton of content for early slates out there, and maybe I could help fill a void. I don't know. I'm going back to sleep. Okay, it is a beautiful day to be sleeping. It is raining. What up, Dope Heathen? What up, Tone Loke? How you doing, boys? Remember, it is customary to hit that thumbs up as you come in. And yeah, anybody got any fun stories from last night? Anybody crushing it, or did we all just have a ton of Alek Manoah? I think we were like, everyone was there on Oscar Enoa. But yeah, Alek Manoah went down. It went down. And I'll tell you what, usually I'll throw hedges against my highest owned pitcher. Meaning, like, if I have 40-50% of X pitcher, I'll have, like, 3% to 5% of a stack against them just to kind of, like, give my own lineups an insurance plan. I didn't do that with the Nats last night. So, shame on me, I guess. That's a process. Brian Adius? Brian Waller. How about that? What up, Josh? Anyway, you boys know how we do it. Let's go game by game. We'll do some plugs here in a little bit and get cranked up. Yankees took first place yesterday, and we also managed to jump the Athletics, I think. If we didn't jump when we're tied with them, and the Athletics might hit the panic button. I mean, Chris Bassett, that's every 5-day piece of concrete. Did you play Eli Morgan? I did not. I can't even pretend like I did. I was actually well on the Twins. Matter of fact, the Twins were smoking on the bomb detector. I think if I show you that, and I think the Twins were the second highest owned stack by the field. So I mean, baseball's baseball. That's gonna happen. Every now and then a team that looks like they could do well falls flat, and every now and then a pitcher shocks you. And by every now and then, I mean it's almost going to be every big slate, right? Just outlier type performances. And maybe Eli Morgan is a little unfair to him because he does get some strikeouts, but you get what I'm saying. Like stuff you don't expect, the Cal Quantrells, the Tyler Gilberts, and then last night the Eli Morgan. But yeah, Bomb Detector was loving Twins last night. Mitch Garver, Miguel Sano. I mean, those are high strikeout guys inherently. Josh Donaldson was on there. Rob Refsnyder. So it is what it is. The Bomb Detector also hit a couple of. Mike Zunino is on fire. Nelson Cruz was on there. So the Bomb Detector giveth, the Bomb Detector taketh away. Yeah. We need more. We need some great content tonight. What up, Aaron? Appreciate that. Played Webb on Fanduel. Only reason I cashed. I had Logan Webb in the pool. That one wasn't a shot. He's been pretty solid. He's been at home. The Mets are in a schneid. But I didn't play Eli Morgan. That's Logan Webb was absolutely in the pool though. Anyway. Let's start analyzing some baseball. And hopefully we could start carving out a player pool if you guys are with me taking notes. I didn't check the weather. I don't see any massive concerns. So if you guys know about any troubled spots, man, share it with the class. And as always, if you guys have already done a little bit of research, if you got a hunch on a player or something like that, throw it in chat. This ain't the ego chat. This ain't me versus you. This ain't I'm right, you're wrong. We're just here trying to research the slate and hopefully come out with some more lunch money, right? Red Sox at the Yankees, first game on the docket. Red Sox with a 4.9 implied run total. Yankees 5.2. We got Nick Pavetta taking on Andrew Heaney. Yankees and Red Sox played 2 games yesterday, doubleheader. Yankees won both of them. Something to note, Gary Sanchez did come back in the first game, so that adds a little bit more power. And also, it looks like Anthony Rizzo could be activated any day now. He was in the dugout yesterday, and the reason why that's notable is because he's on the COVID IL. So obviously, he wouldn't be in the dugout if he wasn't cleared. So look for maybe Anthony Rizzo to return to this lineup. And then, it's an embarrassment of riches. Luke Voigt's been playing really, really good baseball. Anthony Rizzo was really a catalyst in jump-starting this team in their recent stretch. So this Yankees lineup could get closer and closer. There'll be a Gleyber Torres away and a Giovanni Urshela away from being what they wanted, which again is kind of incredible that the Yankees have put together this winning stretch, and they have not been 100%. at all since the All-Star break. Nick Pavetta versus Andrew Heaney is our matchup. These are like two less than stellar pitchers. I think just because it's the Yankees, Nick Pavetta can be considered at 8,900. He does have a strikeout rate over 1-4 on the season. It's at nearly 27%. This projected Yankees lineup has a massive lane of potential strikeouts, a lot of 30%ers or greater if Votto doesn't make it back in this lineup. So absolutely a range of outcomes for Pavetta to deliver, not get blown up, get his strikeouts. But, the Yankees are looking pretty solid. Pavetta does have a walk problem to lefties, 12.6%. And that might create a little bit of issues when it comes to his pitch count. So I'm going to let you guys be the comfort click on Pavetta. If you like Pavetta, you hate the Yankees, you think they're due for a loss, I'm fine with you playing Pavetta. But this seems like a game where I'm going to be gravitating towards both offenses. Pavetta does allow a 1.4 homer per night to lefties this season, a 1.26 homer per night to righties. And then on the Red Sox side, if you watched the first look video this morning, I'm pretty unbiased here, man. Andrew Heaney has not been good in his short stint as a Yankee. He, by trait, right, in his blood, in his DNA, he was already a fly ball pitcher that will allow you to get home runs. And I think this Red Sox team took a pair of L's yesterday. Alex Cora, they're going to be thinking about that. They want that playoff spot back. And Heaney, I definitely think, is the most acceptable pitcher the Yankees have in their starting rotation right now to pay off a full stack. So I do like the Red Sox full stack. And I also kind of have a hunch that maybe the Yankees throw out quite a few lefties out of the bullpen today after thinking about what they did in the doubleheader yesterday, who came out. I definitely think you could see more Zach Britton today, Lucas Licky, Joely Rodriguez, guys like that. And not that they're inherently bad, but they still are lefty. So if Alex Cora throws out his lefty mashing lineup, the Kike Hernandez, Hunter Renfroe, JD Martinez, even Bobby Dalbec, I like the platoon advantage throughout the game. So that's just speculating what might come out of the bullpen, but I do think it's there for them, right? Zach Britton, Lucas Licky, Wandy Peralta. I don't know if Wandy Peralta plays today. He threw 20 pitches in the second game yesterday. Did get a big out. But Joely Rodriguez and Lucas Licky seem like prime candidates to get some game time today. And then Chad Green's thrown two days in a row. And the Yankees don't like to do that. So he's one of their higher leverage or the Yankees don't like to throw guys 3 days in a row. So he's one of their highest leverage guys that may not be available. And then Jonathan Loaiza had a pretty stressful close in the first game yesterday, and he's thrown 3 of the last 4. So I really think the Yankees are going to have to lean on their not as great arms out of the bullpen, and I think that's a positive spot for the Red Sox. So against my own bias, I'll be there for DFS standpoint on the Red Sox. Kike Hernandez, Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, Hunter Renfroe are the guys I like to isolate and target in the individual matchup against Andrew Heaney. But that's not to say that Rafael Devers, Alex Verdugo, and Kyle Schwarber ain't candidates as well. Heaney does allow a high average to lefties, does allow over a 1 home run per 9 to lefties, but if we get more lefties, obviously I'm going to be focusing on the positive platoon here. The Yankee stack, I think, is going to be in play no matter what as well for me. Nick Pavetta is somebody that has allowed power to be generated against him. He's been better on the road than he has been at home in all those categories. A 30% hard contact rate, 192 average allowed, and almost a 28% K rate on the road. Yankee Stadium's Yankee Stadium. This feeling's a little bit different. I know that's not quantifiable, but it is palpable. But I am, on a math basis, I'm kind of leaning more Red Sox here than Yankees. And I guess you could say the Yankees might be a little due for, an L here. So I'll have both offenses, but I'll have more Red Sox right now. Every now and then people pop in this stream and be like, "Oh, this guy's biased." Come on. We're not though. I'm not a self-hating Yankee fan, though. Braves lineup did come out. It's going to be the next game on the docket. Ozzie Albies, Jorge Soler, Freddie Freeman, Austin Ryan. I hate Austin. Dansby Swanson, Travis d'Arnaud in the 6 hole. Adam Duvall batting 7th, and then Guillermo Heredia, former Yankee great. That's our confirmed Braves lineup. Red Sox should roll your Yankees tonight. I mean, it'd be one of those I'd be okay with. But I think it's the pitching. If the pitching gets beat up, the offense, I just want to see the offense getting a slugfest. And they have, right? They've taken, the White Sox 12 rounds against their Super Plus bullpen, too. So I'm not going to give up, but I'm expecting them to need to put up 6-7 to be in contention, right? Charlie Morton taking on Jesus Lazardo. Charlie Morton, one of the pitchers that we profiled this morning in the first look. I like Morton quite a bit in this matchup. I actually put out a tweet yesterday because the final Marlins lineup was an incredible Marlins lineup. Like, it was as triple A as can get, but Morton seems like a really high floor, potentially high ceiling option today. Braves looking to keep creating distance, creating separation. They're watching the Mets skid. The Phillies are still there, but the NL East is arguably the Braves to lose right now. And I think Charlie Morton's their ace, their leader. So when his number is called, they're going to lean on him. 6 innings in 4 of his last 5 games, and actually in more of, he's only gone less than 6 innings once in like his last 8 or 9. So that's given us a pretty solid floor. He pitched at Miami on July 9th, dropped a 30 bomb, went 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, and an 8-2 ground ball to fly ball ratio. So maybe the ceiling isn't as sexy consistently as you would want it, but as you saw last night, and by the way, last night and on yesterday's stream, we had this tangent about value being subjective, and I explained what that means because I caught heat for that. Look how many pitchers scored over 20 yesterday. That's why I say 20 is like my mark, because if you get over 20, the way baseball works, that's chipping a chair territory. I think we might have had 4 pitchers score over 20 yesterday, and then it was like a couple guys you would never play. So Charlie Morton, definitely one of those pitchers I think we can project to get us over that 20 median baseline more often than not. So he's easily going to be one of my favorite plays today. This Marlins lineup is not out yet, but yesterday they threw out a massively heavy strikeout lineup, and even if you reinsert the talented Jazz Chisholm in it, he's still somebody that is going to strike out at an elevated rate. There's a lot of 27, 30%ers, and unlike the aforementioned Yankees lineup, there's not a ton of high ISO here, and Charlie Morton's going to be an extreme ground ball pitcher anyway, so this should just be a massive spot. We did just get the Marlins lineup while I was talking, and it's Miguel Rojas, Jazz Chisholm, Jesus Aguilar, Jesus Sanchez. Check out this. Jesus Sanchez has a 26% K rate. So the rich gets richer. Lewis Brinson's batting 5th. This is looking a lot like yesterday's lineup again. This is special. This is special. Look at these K rates, man. A lot of 20s, a lot of 30s, a lot of 40%ers. So yeah, Charlie Morton's absolutely going to be one of my favorite pitchers. Probably going to be a tier 1 no matter what. And then we talk about the Marlins side here. Jesus Lazardo has been backsliding heavily over the course of the last 2 seasons. This year is by far some of his worst isolated splits against right-handed hitting. A 5.45 xFIP to righties, a 313 average allowed, a 272 home run per 9. Yeah, the park might start helping him out a little bit, but as you saw in his last start where he was one of the highest owned pitchers, he still can bleed red with the best of them. So yeah, I think maybe those numbers get helped a little bit, but he's still somebody I'm looking at to perhaps get beat up. We know how bad the Chicago Cubs team is, and he went 5 innings, 6 hits allowed, and 4 walks. So 10 on the whip counter. Still got you double digits at 6K, but this is a Braves team that's a little bit better than the Cubs, and I love some Ozzie Albies. I featured him this morning. Anytime he catches a lefty, especially a lefty with hit for average problems, Ozzie Albies going to be one of my favorite targets. He's just really, really good, and there's only 3 games in his last 10 where he hasn't given you double-digit fantasy points, and that's friggin' huge. And I like him as a high floor, high ceiling type of guy. Definitely a do-it-all type of guy offensively. Homers, stolen bases, couple hits here and there. And if you get on base in front of Soler, Freddie Freeman, there's a very good chance you touch home plate. A lot of Braves have a 4+ rating on the bomb detector. Albie, Soler, Austin Riley, and Adam Duvall. I'm in on the Braves stack. They are going to be one of my probably top 5, top 6 sought after stacks. I think the Marlins bullpen, I think the Marlins park could play spoiler here, but I'm just gonna run the gauntlet here and have the Braves in the mix. I think it's a good spot for them. I'm not gonna pitch Lazardo. Gonna pitch Morton. Gonna stack Braves. If we wanted to pick on Morton, there's really not a lane for me to point at and say this guy should benefit in that category. I guess maybe we could look at the pitch report and look for a guy that crushes the curveball, because Morton throws the curveball 35%, but guess what? Everyone on the entire Marlins team has a near negative grade against the curveball. Jesus Aguilar, barely positive, but he's been an extreme home road guy in terms of power. So no Marlins here. Give me the Braves and Charlie Morton. I got like a piece of cat fur dangling. It's just like in my eye, and I'm like, feels like I have a windshield wiper. 14 pitchers had quality starts last night. Yeah, it was a very non-offensive night. Neither Inoa or Burns were in the optimal. I didn't expect Inoa to go deep enough to kind of go there, but I mean the optimal is so variant for baseball day to day, right? You play football, you play basketball, DFS. A lot of times, some of the highest owned guys still get there for optimal, but in terms of winning slates, I think there's got to be some of the more drastic changes between first place and like short entry fields, single entry fields in baseball versus what the optimal is. But yeah, yesterday was very, very different. It was not a night for offenses, right? Marlins lineup looks better today. Yeah, it still has plenty of strikeouts though, a lot of strikeouts. What up, Jonathan Adams? You're late to class. Give him a tardy slip. We'll sit him in the corner and wear. I wish I'm not toxic. But I was gonna wear I guess a dunce cap. Lazardo finna get mashed on like potatoes. Bars. I'm not a rapper. Angels at the Tigers. Next game on the docket. Shohei Ohtani on the bump, taking on Tariq Skubal. Shohei Ohtani is only 8,600 on DraftKings, by the way. I do feel like that's a little soft of a price point, considering the Tigers have really allowed some strong games to opposing right-handed pitchers. I think he is definitely going to be one of my top 5 owned pitchers on the slate at 8,600. Just a soft landing spot, right? 10-5 on Fanduel. I can understand the pushback, but 8,500, you can live with 16, 18 as we talked about. And then, of course, if he is really on one, gets to these Tigers quick, early, and often, he has 25, 30 fantasy point potential. So I think the price is going to force a lot of people's hands in regards to playing Ohtani. I said it this morning. It would be extremely fun if Miguel Cabrera got his 500th homer off of Ohtani. Like I'm just kind of rooting for that in my non-Ohtani lines. Not really going to target Miguel Cabrera in DFS, but sometimes you got to have fun with the real life narratives, and the number 500 is one of them. Tariq Skubal is pitching for the Tigers. He has a 26% K rate to righties, a 25% K rate to lefties. So I talked about the volatility of like a Nick Pavetta in his matchup, but he still has the strikeouts, the 1-4 plus ability to walk away with Ks. Tariq Skubal is kind of in that same boat, right? The xFIP to lefties elevated 3.41, the xFIP to righties 4.45. But mathematically, there's a world where he can steal 1-4 Ks here, because this Angels lineup will feature a couple of elevated strikeout rates, and some of their better hitters are lefty. Ohtani, Jared Walsh, both have near 30% K rates to lefties. Tariq Skubal, 25% K rate to lefties. Then Brandon Marsh, the caveman, is sitting at a 40+% K rate. Jack Mayfield and Joe Adell, who sent one rolling into the deep last night, also has an elevated K rate. So I guess what I'm saying is I understand playing a little bit of Skubal in mass multi-entry. I think there's not a 0% sum where, he has a solid game at 7,400, 16 DKP. Seems obtainable even if he gave up 3 or 4 bombs with this lineup, being so strikeout prone. And then I think, if he's a little bit crisper, a little bit cleaner, temperature in Detroit under 80 degrees, not necessarily a pitching weather, but it's not really hitting weather. In the park, Comerica can maybe swallow some of those homers. His home run per 9 at home this season has been 1.24, the xFIP 4.11, and 25% K rate. So I've pitched a lot of pitchers against the Angels, done okay. I think Skubal might hit the back end of the pitching player pool for me today. Probably a bottom tier 3 guy, but I think there's viability at this price point. And then the Angels just kind of become unstackable when you can't get their best bat. They don't have, some guys to neutralize the lefty pitching, the Anthony Rendon's, the Mike Trouts. And Justin Upton, I guess Justin Upton would be an option here. He wasn't in the projected lineup earlier, but I think this lineup might be about to come out because it looks like it's changing quite a bit. So you might see Phil Gosselin, Justin Upton, Max Stassi. And those are guys I think I would one-off. I don't think I can invest in the full Angel stack here, but I definitely one-off those guys because Skubal does have the propensity to give up the long ball. It's kind of, he's essentially kind of like a cheaper Heaney here, right? He's got the strikeout stuff, but he's got the home run stuff as well. And every now and then, Heaney will have a solid game. Every now and then, I think Skubal will have a solid game here. What's the pitch count for Skubal as of late? 84, 91, so probably 90 pitches if he's doing well. And you've seen that last game against Baltimore, 26, right? There's going to be games where he gets smacked, but if he gets 20 plus at 7,400, that dog will hunt. So I'm going to have a little bit of Skubal in the backside of my player pool today. And I guess we'll revisit the Angels lineup when it does come out, right? Let's get caught up on chat. Rolling in the Detroit bullpen. Okay, I like that. I like that. Solid picks. Sweatshop fan mixing up a gun. Best video. I mean, I appreciate that, Shark. Yeah, man. I missed the sweatshop. My boy, Jerusalem. We don't make enemies. I don't have enemies, man. I don't do that beef stuff, especially when it's DFS and it just becomes nerdy white boys beefing on Twitter, man. We just here trying to enjoy sports and make a little money, right? Orioles at the Rays, next game on the docket. Rays projected lineup: Brandon Lau, Wander Franco, Nelson Cruz. This is confirmed, by the way. That's why I'm updating it. Austin Meadows, Randy Arozarena, G-Man Choi, Joey Wendell, Francisco Mejia, and Kevin Kiermaier. So this morning, when I was looking at this Rays lineup, I was hoping it would come out a little bit more righty than usual based on this matchup. Obviously, they threw out their platoon lineup with just 2 righties. But the reason I was hoping for that is because you see Spencer Watkins has struggled a lot more against righties. And I was also hoping for Mike Zunino. He was one of the guys I featured this morning, and he's not in the lineup in lieu of Francisco Mejia. So they actually, I'm not going to say they cut Spencer Watkins a break because I do think he's still bad inherently. But in terms of what he's really struggled against, average allowed, low strikeout rates, and a lot of homers to righties, like this would have been the spot I would like to see Zunino batting 6 randomly, right? Nelson Cruz to follow up, something like that. But they didn't do that. So I still think the Rays are very, very playable. The run total has gone to 5.9. But I was hoping for Zunino to crack the lineup here. Against lefties, Watkins still a 4.29 xFIP. The strikeout rate's pretty low. Line drive rate's pretty high. The hard contact rate's dipped to 25%. I don't think he's good by any stretch of the imagination. He's just been proven to be really, really, really bad against righties. And I was hoping to tap into that. But if you get through Spencer Watkins in 4 or 5 innings, you get into that bullpen, as we've seen the last 2 games, Rays bats will consistently be in a positive EV spot for 8 innings. So I'm still there on the Rays. I was just hoping for a little different look lineup. But if you didn't, if you had plans to play Mike Zunino and you want to downgrade for the stack, I guess Mejia is your option now at 3.2K. I'm probably going to be a little bit more looking at guys like Salvador Perez now. But the Rays are still completely stackable. I think Nelson Cruz on Fanduel is probably too cheap at 3,600. Why is Nelson Cruz ever cheaper than Randy Arozarena? Like, ever. Why? What is that about, Fanduel? Explain yourself. That doesn't make no sense. So I think Nelson Cruz is too cheap on Fanduel. So he'll be right there in the mix for me as well. Guaranteed first inning at bat, and he has one of the more plus matchups when you put them together. Yeah, no. See what you guys got in the live chat. If Upton starts, you like him? Yeah, I would like Upton. I wouldn't be in love with him. It'd just be a like thing where we exchange notes and check yes or no. Can't take Ohtani and Angel stack on DK because he's pitching. Yeah, or on any site, right? Does any site allow you to split them? Maybe Yahoo does. A Fanduel, you can't do it either. I don't get it. Not playing Spencer Watkins Lew head is pitching for the Rays. I didn't do too much research on him this morning because I just expected him to be limited in innings and pitches. One innings pitch in all of his appearances. Maybe he gets an extra out or two into the second. So I don't want to play him, but I don't really want to exhaust a lot of research on who he is because he probably sees 3 or 4 hitters, and that's not going to be enough to sway me to or against the stack. So we're just expecting a bullpen game from the Rays or a plus bullpen in a plus pitcher's park. So if you're on the Orioles, you're really just betting on a couple of these guys to be talented. Cedric Mullins leading the league in hits. Ramon Urias. Trey Mancini. Didn't Mancini get the day off yesterday? Watch for him to make the lineup today. If he doesn't, I think he also might just be hurt. If he doesn't, then yeah, this lineup becomes weaker. And I really got nothing for it, especially since I can't attack it with opposing pitchers. So just the Rays stack. No pitchers here for me. And we matriculate on to the next one. Brewers at the Cardinals, man. If you like pitching, do I have a game for you? Freddie Peralta up against Jack Flaherty. I feel like there's a Halloween theme to be had here. Five Night at Freddy's versus, I don't know. There's a bunch of Jack the Ripper. Jack the K, I don't know. Pretend like I was way better in that delivery. Question in the chat: pitch count for Jack Flaherty. So we'll see what he ended up throwing in his last start. Got to 81. Usually the rule of thumb here is you can stretch out 10 to 15 pitches at a time. So maybe if you just put that as a conservative 90, I think that would be enough to be a little bit interested in him. But it could probably go as high as 91. He did get to 6 innings against the Royals. So I think, 90 pitches isn't that low of a pitch count to project here, but maybe they take it easy with him. He's really, really doggone good. This morning, this was a game total of 7. It's still 7, so that's amongst the lowest game totals you'll see of any baseball game of the season. 2 aces going at it. It's a super plus pitcher's park. Both pitchers absolutely in play. I got no pushback here. I didn't want to be cheesy and recommend either on the first look video, but you guys know that these are both a couple of beasts, right? Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. 10.2K on Freddie Peralta. It's an interesting debate, or really a projection to see where the ownership for Peralta or Flaherty land with Charlie Morton on the slate. I haven't looked at ownership projections, but I am curious to see where the field does land. Peralta, 89, 98 pitches. His last 2 outings, a couple of soft matchups, the Cubs and the Pirates a couple of times. All of those games, 20-plus DKP. And like I said, you get to 20-plus, I think that dog will hunt almost regardless of price if it's 10K or less. So both pitchers in the player pool. Could this game give us some troll-like tendencies? Don't really see the weakness in the game of either pitcher, I guess, results-wise, but you could be alarmed by the xFIP by both pitchers. Jack Flaherty against lefty so far, a 4.61 xFIP, 23% line drive rate. Maybe you're looking for or you could accept the fact that some regression could be coming his way. We've seen his strikeout rate to lefties dip 6%, and maybe the walk rate's up a little bit. The called strike rate's gone down a little bit, so maybe look out for that. But I think we're kind of reaching. And the same with Freddie Peralta. His xFIP to lefties 4.58 has a really elevated walk rate, a high fly ball rate, but guess what? The Cardinals have like the lowest lefty per capita projected lineup day to day, right? They have Carlson, Tommy Edman, and then every now and then you'll see like a Matt Carpenter. So you can really focus on these righty splits for Peralta, which is a 2.6 xFIP and a 41% K rate. That's massive. So no pushback here on either pitcher. I'm definitely liking Peralta to really accentuate his strengths with that strikeout rate. Let's get caught up on chat. Shortstop on DK, Dansby Swanson or Wander Franco. It's not a snap call, but probably Dansby. It's not a snap call, but I do like the right now. I kind of like the Brave stack more than I should, but the Rays getting Orioles pitching. I don't know. I guess Franco's been better against lefties than righties so far, but the guy's the top prospect in baseball for a reason. I'm sure he was crushing righties at a very, very incredible clip. Wander Franco. Anybody from Texas in chat, man? We got some flooding in my area. I woke up, there was like power outages and cars floating around. So in the actually, let's split it. But in the minors, he was batting 277. Did he have? I don't know if he had splits in the minors. It's Spencer Watkins. I think I'm gonna lean Dansby Swanson, but that's not a snap call. It's probably more so because I like the Brave stack. I love Ozzy Albies, and then Adam Duvall and Austin Riley are all in play for me as well. Let's move on to the next game. Rangers hosting the Mariners. 4.8 is your implied run total for the Mariners. Rangers are at 3.8. Rangers have a really low run total considering it's Marco Gonzalez, but you guys have seen Marco Gonzalez be Exhibit A on the Troll game, especially against the Texas Rangers, right? We've seen a few ranges of outcomes for him in this spot. Last game against the Rangers, 9 innings strong, 9 strikeouts, complete game. Drop 41 Fanduel or DraftKings points. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of chasing of the points here, and I'm definitely there on playing some Marco today, but I do worry about how much point chaseage might be happening, and seeing the same team twice in back-to-back starts isn't always a positive. But this Rangers team isn't very good. Adolis Garcia, DJ Peters, and Nate Lowe is the lane you want to watch for strikeouts. Everything else is kind of a little bit more moderate. We're still waiting for sample size to regulate a little bit on Laurel Hernandez and Yoel Pozo, but absolutely think if you got DeMarco Gonzalez as your pitcher, it's not something I disagree with, but I'm never in love with playing inherently bad pitchers, but it's a bad Rangers lineup. The 5.53 xFIP to righties, the 19% K rate, the 274 average, and the 205 home run per 9 creates a weird pitcher to be too invested in. So if he does another CG, that's on me, but I think my exposure to Marco is going to be a little bit more moderate than maybe the field. I probably wouldn't want to get more than 10%. Maybe if this lineup comes out and shakes the foundation of everything I know about life, I'll go to it. But there are some bats I could see playing spoiler here. Andy Ibanez, Charlie Culberson, Adolis Garcia. Like, I don't know. I guess, how could we do this? Marco Gonzalez. What day was this? I'm going to look at the box score. Just kind of see if Marco got like a different lineup. I don't know. It's the Rangers. Rangers are bad, but what was August 12th? Rangers, Mariners, 8-12 box score. I just kind of want to see what the Rangers lineup that day was. Thoughts on Marco Gonzalez versus my Texas Ranger? Are you talking to me? Listen here, Josh. Understand this. I have no less than 56 Joshes in my community. I'll get rid of you. We'll have extras, okay? Don't disrespect me with that Rangers bonanza. So this is the Rangers lineup from that day. Isaiah Kiner for Leffer, Yanni Hernandez, Jonah Heim, Dallas Kirk. This is actually like a lineup that I probably would have stacked, to be honest, against Marco Gonzalez. So Marco did his thing. But baseball's baseball, right? 2 hits. Was it just all fly balls? Probably, right? 7 ground balls to 9 fly balls. 108 pitches. I probably end up playing both sides of this. I want to see if Marco generates more ownership than he should based on poor metrics, and then I'll cherry pick against it. But I understand it. Like I'll probably get to a little bit of Marco, but I don't want to be over 10%. I really don't. Mike Foltynewicz, also not good at baseball. A 4.59 xFIP to righties, a 6+ to lefties. The lefties is the big one. 13.9% K rate, 289 average allowed, and a 2.56 home run per 9. Even J.P. Crawford gets in on the action against Folty. So at 3,500 on DraftKings, 2,700 on Fanduel. It could be a sneaky play to put in your lineup. Kyle Seager will also project pretty well. He has a pretty elevated bomb detector rating, and so does Mitch Haniger. So I really feel like we've seen these two go at it a couple times, and it's just like 2 below average pitchers against an average or 2 below average offenses. So wide range of outcomes here, but if we're focusing on the weaknesses, home runs to righties for Marco, home runs to everyone for Folty, and then it's just who do you trust, who do you love, and I'm probably just cherry picking the talented guys with power. Adolis Garcia, Seager, Haniger, a little bit of Crawford, guys like that. Maybe I end up full stacking just because the slate seems a little soft in terms of full send options, but it's not a fun spot to be, right? Josh, did I miss the Tampa Bay stack? No, you didn't, Josh. I mean, you did, but you didn't. The thing with Tampa today was there is no Mike Zunino, and the lineup came out really lefty heavy. Not that that's a handicap, but I definitely was hoping for a little bit more righty power against Spencer Watkins. But that bullpen is so bad, so bad. Look at all the Joshes in chat. I forget which Josh I was even yelling at. Catch the wrong band. Josh Clan too strong. Look at all these Josh. My goodness, there's so many Joshes. This is nuts. Mark. Oh, that's incredible. Marco was home, might be just home cooking. Maybe. They usually keep the lid on in Globe Life. They almost certainly do it today with the weather, but Globe Life will also play pitcher friendly, right? Boot them all. We're just going to command ban Josh X, and then all the Joshes are gone, and there's half my viewers. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't ban you, but there's a union. There's a Josh union. Oh, yeah. Let's move on to the next game. White Sox hosting the Athletics. I'm not playing Folty, right? I don't think that I need to do that, but I understand the case for Marco. I don't want to play him, but I probably get less than 10%. Athletics at the White Sox. Cole Irvin taking on Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn's 10K. Cole Irvin 8.4K. The Athletics just a 3.7 run total. The White Sox 4.9. I like the White Sox as a stack. This is a lineup hopefully that comes with Luis Robert back in the mix. You might see Danny Mendick, Sebi Zavala, guys like that instead of the Collins and Jake Lambs here, and it comes out pretty righty heavy. And then we could tap into Cole Irvin's almost 5x fit to righties, and then this White Sox team in the last couple years has been a really strong team to stack against lefties. So I would absolutely be invested in this White Sox team. Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, Moncada, even Andrew Vaughn project well. And like I said, Luis Robert would be somebody I'd play pretty liberally here, and Cesar Hernandez is viable too. So I'm in on the White Sox here. Lance Lynn is Lance Lynn. Lance will make them dance. Tough game against the Yankees. I do want to give him a little bit of an asterisk there. That Yankees game Field of Dreams was a hitter's park with, I think, the fourth. It had top 5 altitude levels, so it was always going to play more hitter friendly if they put the ball in play. He still went out there and got strikeouts, 7 Ks in 5 innings. The Athletics aren't an inherently high strikeout team, but Lance Lynn's a high strikeout pitcher, and he's probably going to see more righties today than lefties, and that's really where you tap into his best strikeout ability, a 33.6% K rate to righties. So you might see Matt Olson, Jed Lowry, maybe Seth Brown, but for the most part, it's going to be a lot of righties. So you can tap into his strengths. At 10K, there's going to be a lot of pivot opportunities with the Flahertys, with the Peraltas, with the Charlie Mortons, and guys like that. So I wonder if people make Lynn a priority, especially considering his last start against the Yankees. But from a game theory standpoint, maybe that makes him a little bit more interesting if you can get his lucrative upside at a lower tick, a lower ownership. So something to keep in mind. He's definitely not somebody that, like, on paper I want to pick on. Matt Olson and Starling Marte, these are guys I like day to day. It's a tall glass of water to sip on against a guy like Lance Lynn in this spot, but value subjective. But I'll have a little Lance Lynn here. I probably don't touch Cole Irvin with your lineups. I don't know if anybody here was on him or has something that I don't have on Irvin, but it seems like this price point's a little ridiculous. 8,400 is essentially the same price as Shohei Ohtani. He dropped 20 against two of the best matchups in baseball, the aforementioned Rangers, who we then curtain call with a 3.9 for you, Marco Gonzalez, 100%ers. And then the Angels, who have one of the highest strikeout rates in all of baseball. You got 6 Ks in 6 innings there. But I just don't feel like he should be an 8.4K pitcher. Went bananas against the Giants, I guess. I don't know. I guess there's a world historically where he's paid off this price point, but I don't think it's consistently enough to be the same. So either Ohtani shouldn't be 85 or Cole Irvin shouldn't be the same as Ohtani is what I'm getting at. Like, how do you play Irvin over Ohtani at that spot? But Lance Lynn, yeah. I'm not going to stack the Athletics here, but I will allow Marte and Matt Olson, guys like that, to be falling into the player pool. I am in on the White Sox stack. I hope this lineup comes out just a death row of righty power against contact lefties, right? Let's get caught up on chat before you guys overthrow me with your nation of Josh. Love the White Sox at home. Arrieta holding his weight kind of in the early innings at Coors. 2 runs, no home runs allowed in 3 Ks. Yeah, maybe Jake Arrieta is on his Blake Griffin and he just, somebody get me out of here, and he got out of there. Now he's on a quasi contender in the NL West, right? Royals lineup is out. Royals hosting the Astros. Zach Greinke facing his former team, the Kansas City Royals. Astros a 5.2 implied run total. Brady Singer on the bump for the Royals. The Royals implied run total 3.9. Royals lineup is par for the course. Zach Greinke at 8,100 I do think is a little bit viable. He's turned in some decent fantasy days. The far right column, points per dollar at this price point. Wouldn't be somebody I'd be overly invested in, but he's kind of exchanged strikeouts, 4 innings pitched, 7 innings, 6 innings, 6 in 3 of his last 4 games. Maybe 3 of the 4 softer matchups you can ask for, but we don't really think Kauffman Stadium and the Royals offense is too menacing. And he's 11-3 on the year with a 3.5 ERA, right? I don't like to be a ERA guy, but he's getting it done by hook or by crook. So I would not fault you for getting to some Zach Greinke in your player pool at 8,100. Hoping for 16, but knowing 20 plus against this offense is very viable. So he'll be in my player pool. Just an 18.5% K rate to righties, 17.5% K rate to lefties. He's a pure contact guy. You get what you pay for with him, but I do think the ranges of outcomes just from a fantasy point perspective is positive enough at this price point on DraftKings where I would get to him. I probably don't touch Brady Singer here. I'm always on the Astros on the road. They have some of the best splits in really any metric you look at, road splits, against righties. The strikeout rate's extremely low. They're just going to be really, really good. So I will get to the Astro stack. I think Michael Brantley's still way too cheap on both sides. Fanduel, 3,200. This guy's leading the league in batting average. A lot of power in Alvarez's bat. Hopefully he makes the lineup today. On the Royal side, I do want to focus on Salvador Perez just a little bit. I do think he could be a catcher home run call, maybe on FanDuel at 3,300. He's kind of cheap. People don't feel obligated to play catchers. Zach Greinke's bugaboo is absolutely power to righties, even dating back to last year, a 1.42 home run per nine last year to righties, and this year a 1.88 with just an 18.5% K rate. So you take that 18.5% K rate, and you put that against Samoa Joe, and Salvador Perez has a 66 1/3 chance of hitting a home run against an average righty. He has a 27% K rate that we can neutralize here. So I do like Salvador Perez's chance to go Yabo on Zach Greinke, but outside of that, I'm in on Greinke as a DFS play. But look for Salvi to hit a bomb. And give me the Astros stack. Let's get caught up. I did see the Yankees and Red Sox lineup sneak out. So just real quick, we'll revisit that in a minute, but I just want to see. Rizzo is in the lineup. Gary's in the lineup. Gardy getting a day off. I like that lineup. I do. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's get caught up on chat. Rizzo's in. Red Sox lineup is out too. Oh yeah, what's the Red Sox looking like? Kike, Renfroe. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. That Red Sox lineup is dirty. That's dirty. Oof. 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 Lorenzo says, give me a mini KC stack. It's 90 degrees. I got it at 85, but I believe you. You could probably push 90 up there. Yeah, I mean, with Merrifield, Salvador Perez, I mean, I guess Hunter Dozier has a little bit of power, a 401 rating on the bomb detector, but it's like Greinke's borderline elite against lefties. 52% ground ball rate, 24% hard contact rate, sub 200 average, sub 3.4 xFIP. It's really just a righty. So if you got Merrifield, Salvi in a handcuff, go for it. But man, I don't know if I'm getting too invested in the full stack. Josh says, how popular do you think Greinke would be on FanDuel? I think he's more viable on FanDuel because 6 innings quality start is probably there for him. But the competition's kind of high. What I mean by that is like there's a lot of high-end pitchers today to play, right? The Peraltas, the Lance Lynn, Charlie Morton, who probably, I don't know, he probably should lap Zach Greinke, right? He's going to be... He's 9,200 on FanDuel. I think that's cheap enough. What are the overall prices? Charlie Morton 92. Ohtani's 10.5, so that's way more expensive. Flaherty and Freddie Peralta 98, 10.1. I feel like right now price would push me on Charlie Morton. He's got a soft matchup. I know I'm usually going to get 6+ innings out of him. And he's only 400 more than Greinke. So I would probably be there on Morton way over Greinke based on that matchup, that park, and the strikeouts being a way higher because we're not expecting Greinke for strikeouts right now. So, yeah. Carlos Santana double dong day? Maybe, but like that's more of a hunch play, right? Greinke's been not giving up power to lefties. So if Santana gets him, that's just a hunch. That's not something the metrics are pushing at us. Singer's only giving up 1 homer in 55 innings at home. I do like the Astros to hit for average and then a couple doubles, stolen bases, stuff like that. But yeah, Singer's not a guy I'm playing for to give up the long ball. And I'm not going to be super bullish on the Astros. It's just this slate's kind of shallow when it comes to viable upside stacks. So I think the Astros are as viable as they come, right? We got 2 games left. And get the plugs out though. We're going to do the plugs. You guys know this stream's brought to you by PrizePicks.com. If you haven't tried PrizePicks yet, give them a shot. Use code GUNDACKER when you sign up. They show me some love, and that makes me happy to get their love once a month. So if you guys haven't tried it and you're not sure what it is, it's kind of like, parlays and betting player props meets fantasy points in fantasy scoring. A lot of their scoring is parodied from Fanduel. So if you're already a Fanduel player, you're doing a lot of Fanduel research, and you like a guy on Fanduel, but maybe you can't really get to him as often as you would like to, or you hate a guy on Fanduel and you want to bet against it, go to PrizePicks.com. They have a lot of stuff that you can bet against the projections. I see funky cards on Twitter every night, like people betting a preseason NFL stat, a Valorant stat, a CSGO stat, WNBA. Like, you put them all together. You don't have to just make cards for one sport. So if you guys want to have a little bit of fun, bet against the projection. Don't play against other players. Don't play against sharks with 150 lineups. Go check it out. Have a little fun. If you are subscribers at rundfs.com, we got a couple tabs to help you make some decisions for Prize Picks, namely the K Factory. And what the K Factory will do is it will give you a strikeout projection based on per 10 pitches, and out projection, and you can bet on outs. And this is also usable for regular sports books elsewhere, but I coded it to kind of help me play on Prize Picks because I don't have access to sports books in Texas. Also, the bomb detector and just the index portal will help you bet bases and fantasy projections, stuff like that. So if you want access to the spreadsheet, that is a perk of having a premium subscription at rundfs.com. Right now, I think the rates are about 40% off because it is just baseball, but that's going to go back to normal in 2 weeks, September 1st, for football season. So if you guys really want to test it out, try it out. I think $20 gets you in there for the week, and you get the spreadsheet, and you get the rundfs.com VIP Discord every day before lock. I'm chilling in the voice chat, chopping it up with the old NBA homies. I like the dog Raj. If you guys aren't in VIP, me and Raj got this running bet that we started at the beginning of the year. It was who makes the playoffs, Blue Jays, Yankees. And then for a while, the Blue Jays looked like it was, they were going to make it, and the Yankees weren't. And then yesterday, sitting on my throne, the Yankees double sweep Red Sox, and we jumped them for the wild card spot. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the Blue Jays are getting waxed by the Nationals. So I was getting all my trash talk in, which I'm sure is going to come back tonight when the Red Sox drop 2 touchdowns. Anyway, those are the plugs. Let's get caught up, or let's get back into the slate. 2 games left tonight. D-backs hosting the Phillies. Alejandro Castellanos. That doesn't work. Humberto Castellanos up against Ranger Suarez. Suarez converted closer. The southpaw for the D-backs. He has been stretched out to like 5-ish innings right now. I clicked Ranger. And he's only 5,700. That's actually kind of a low price point, considering I do think he can steal a strikeout per inning. The pushback here is, does he get to 5 innings? Is he win eligible? Something like that. But at 5,700, I think Suarez actually is justifiable based on his ability to get strikeouts, 26% K rate on the year, 18.4% called strike rate, and just a 3% barrel rate. But a lot of that is inflated because of his stint as a bullpen arm. I say it all the time. Bullpen guys are going to have inflated strikeouts numbers because they're often, one, put in a situation where they are in a positive matchup, and 2, you could put the pedal to the floor, right? You can throw all you got. You don't have to budget your strength throughout the game when you're just coming out there for 1 to 3 outs, right? Cliff Schaefer, man, I appreciate that sub, man. Shout out to you. Welcome to the channel. We got a not Josh, so that's a good thing. I'm getting sick of all these Joshes, so welcome to the stream, Cliff. I'd rather play Skubal over Greinke, says Lorenza. That's interesting. Miami owns Morton. Earth to air. Stop. Earth to air. Just answer me this one question. What did Charlie Morton do at Miami in his literal last start against Miami? Don't worry, I'll wait. That's stupid. July 9th at Miami, 31 DKP. Miss me with that own stuff. I got that same thing yesterday with I think Sean. It was like Eovaldi owns the Yankees, and the Yankees, whatever. I love you, Earth to Air. I'm just messing with you. So Ranger Suarez at 5,700. If you put him in an SP2 spot, like I get it. The only thing is do you need it, right? If he went out there and got you 18 today, cool, that's cute. You save some money for bats, but there's so much upper echelon pitching today that just really doesn't seem like we need to do that. It's not going to get you cores. It's not really going to get you a lot. And I do think the optimal lineup right now seems to project like two of the top end pitchers: the Peralta, the Morton, the Flaherty, the Lance Lynn, the Ohtani. Right? There's a lot of guys that can probably get you 25. So I don't really see the reasoning behind getting to Suarez, but at the same time, I don't want to pick on him. So if you wanted to do that, maybe on a late slate, it's a little bit more viable. Castellanos, I don't think I'm going to end up wanting to play him here. He's a projected reliever. What's the pitch count on him? 60 in his last outing against Colorado. What are the metrics saying? I probably get behind the Philly stack here. Metrics saying 4.34 xFIP to lefties. Elevated fly ball rate, elevated hard contact rate to lefties, 129 homer per nine to lefties. So Bryce Harper can maybe pick up where he left off. 6K is not enough to spook me away from him, but it wouldn't be a priority play. What's his pitch report? We click the pitch report here in the RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet. Fastball, slider. Interesting, because I love I like when Didi Gregorius gets a guy that leans on the slider quite a bit, because that's actually one of his best pitches to hit historically. He has a 1.43 grade against the slider on a weighted curve scale. It's reactive, not predictive metric, but it is something as a Yankee fan I've been tracking for Didi for quite a while. So maybe Didi Gregorius is kind of a cheap bat to get into something from Castellanos and then get into this D-backs bullpen, which is one of the worst in baseball. So I will probably be there on some Philly stacks. I'm not on either pitcher here. And that's all I got to say about that. Love you back. I'm just messing with you, Earth there. I got to. Dodgers hosting the Pirates. That's your main event tonight. If you guys haven't already, man, hit that thumbs up. We actually partnered with was it Yale University. They had some science team. They reached out to me in March, and they did this study based on my analytics. They were able to tap into the Fanduel and DraftKings APIs. And it actually was a pretty heavy correlation between people that hit the thumbs up on this channel and people that are consistently profitable on DraftKings and FanDuel. So you can't argue with science. If you hit the thumbs up, you're probably going to make money in the long run on DraftKings and FanDuel. So, I mean, guys, do you like money? Hit that thumbs up. Pirates at the Dodgers. Main event tonight. JT Brubaker up against Mitch White. Dodgers minus 300 favorites against the lowly Pirates. Brubaker not going to make my player pool tonight. Dodgers seem like they've been kind of rotating, staggering rest. Trey Turner did not get off yesterday as well. Maybe he was like, Dave, I just had a couple weeks off from COVID. I'm cool. Let me play. That's cool. But we've seen Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, Will Smith. We've seen some of those guys, take a day off in the last 2 days and let some of the backups in. We saw Gavin Lux make the active roster again. Dodgers bench is stupid. So long story short, I'm going to be on the Dodger stack. But this lineup may not come out until after main slate locks. And then it may not come out as we hope or expect it. So just be cognitive of that you're probably going to have to make yourself available after lock today to maybe make some swaps or late swap optimize or whatever. Dodgers are probably collectively your most expensive stack, 5K plus from 1 through 5 on this projected lineup. But they, it writes themselves. Brubaker, a 199 home run per nine to lefties, a 193 home run per nine to righties. He is something that tickles my brain because his hard contact, fly ball rate, all that stuff doesn't really support that, but it just keeps happening. He keeps going out there, keeps getting smacked, and then bad things happen to good people. This bullpen can get got. So Dodger stack for me. Mitch White, no, right? No reason to do that. We talked about how many viable options at 7K or above are on the slate. So I don't feel the need to get too creative with these backdoor 6K, 4K, 5K pitchers that aren't stretched out. So I'm not likely to land on the Dodgers pitching here. I'm just going to be on the Dodgers stack. And I'm not going to be on the Pirates here. If you fell into a Reynolds, Brian Hayes, something like that in your opto, go for it. But it's really just the Dodgers here. And then I'm moving on. Let's get caught up on chat. and then we'll get caught up on lineups, and then we'll get caught up on life, and then we'll get caught up in the Usher sense. Yell, skull and bones, be careful, guns. I don't know what that means. I know what skull and bones means. Brubaker's been awful versus... Yeah, Brubaker's just not great. Which is interesting because something like these metrics aren't terrible. The 3.73 xFIP to righties, the ground ball rate's high, the hard contact rate's low or average for righties. But for whatever reason, man, when he gets on that bump, man, bad things happen. 4.63 expected ERA, which is better than his real ERA. But yeah. Chat, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go back. We're going to update some of the lineups that did come out, revisit some thoughts. So those of you that don't care about all that and do want to hit town, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up before you do. Tomorrow is a 4-game main slate, so we're probably not going to do a live stream for that. And there's some games in the morning and then games in the evening. So I guess it would be a good time to ask you guys what you want content-wise. Do I just break down every game? That sounds crazy, but break down every game tonight and then go to sleep and then have the day off outside of VIP? Do you want a picks video? Do you want a breakdown of just the early slate and then a breakdown of the late? I don't know. Tomorrow's weird. Let's type the MLB schedule for tomorrow. I know there's a bunch of games in the morning, and then I remember the reason I remember there's a 4-game night slate is because I mentioned it. My old lady's a Twins fan, and Yankees starting a 4-game series against the Twins. So Twins and Yankees, Marlins, Reds, Brewers, Cardinals, Mets, Dodgers is our 4-game main slate, and the last game is 3 hours after the first pitch. And then on the early slate, looks like it could be 5-6 games on the early slate. So I don't know. Maybe it's worth doing 2 different videos. Maybe I don't feel like it's worth doing a live stream basically for 4 games. Maybe I should just keep doing streams, but I don't know. Maybe does anybody want to do a 4-game live stream? Maybe we'll do a live stream and then do a early game breakdown, something like that. I don't know. Nobody wants smoke with skull and bones. Not gonna do it. Position by position. No, those are never good, Josh. I hate position by position stuff. Break down everything. Just break it all down. Or Degeneration X. We're just breaking it down. Chat, let's get caught up on some lineups here, man. If you guys are on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker, hit me with that young follow. If you guys are looking to play NFL season long, I got a couple spots left in a $100 league. PPR, it's DraftKings scoring in ESPN. Sending out some more invites tonight. Just hit me up on Twitter. All you gotta do is send me $100 on PayPal. You're in there. Like swimwear, top 3 get paid. Is that all the plugs? I think that's all the plugs. And then, of course, go get yourself some VIP, man. We have a lot of passes and packages available. It's going to be a really fun basketball season in October. And then the football season. I'm excited for that. Red Sox lineup came out. Kike Hernandez, Hunter Renfroe. This is getting dirty. This is getting nasty. Hunter Renfroe batting second. Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, JD Martinez, Kevin Plawecki. You get a hickey from Plawecki. Alex Verdugo is batting 7th. Bobby Dalbec batting 8th. Christian Vasquez batting 9th. So they got 2 catchers in the lineup. But they're not DHing a catcher and then putting JD in the outfield, are they? Is that what's happening? DJ LeMahieu leading off. Anthony Rizzo in the lineup. Kind of surprised Rizzo's not leading off. We've seen them lead off Rizzo and put DJ in the 2 spot for the platoon. Aaron Judge clean up Joey Gallo. Are you saying Joey Gallo or Joey Callow? Stanton, Rougned Odor is batting 6th. Poor Luke Voigt got benched. He's been on fire. My boy. And then Andrew Velasquez, the shortstop, is batting 9th. So confirmed Yankee lineup, confirmed Red Sox lineup. So the Yankees lineup with Rizzo is a nasty lineup. He's probably too cheap. Put him in Michael Brantley in the mix. They're really too cheap. Rizzo has been starkly reverse splits, but I'm not going to hold that against him. You can give me some Rizzo in Yankee Stadium all day long, all day strong. And then this Red Sox lineup just looks like something that Heaney should have lost sleep about. Kike Hernandez, Renfroe, Bogarts, JD Martinez are 4 of his first 5 hitters to pitch against today. Good luck. I mean, I hate to say it, but good luck. Braves, Marlins, we already had those. Tigers lineup hasn't changed. Rays lineup is the same. We had that. Brewers lineup came out. That lineup is Colton Wong. If playing Colton is Wong, I don't want to be right. Willie Adames, Christian Yelich, Eduardo Escobar, Omar Narvaez, Avisel Garcia, Rowdy Roddy Tellez, Jackie Bradley Jr. in the 8th spot. Former Red Sox great. So, a less than exciting lineup. Really nothing different than what you would expect. And a lot of strikeout potential in this lineup outside of Colton Wong. So Flaherty still has a average to average plus spot to be a strong play. You just kind of hate that his pitch count feels a little lighter than some of his competition, but whatevs. Yanni Hernandez, Isaiah Kiner, Falefer, Dallas Garcia, DJ Peters, Yoel Pozo. That is a baseball name. Charlie Culberson batting 6th. Jason Martin batting 7th. Andy, I took a pill in Ibanez batting 8th. And then Jose Trevino. So this is a very who's who of who's that lineup for the Rangers. But that's par for the course for them day to day. White Sox lineup is out. This is a stack I'm on, so I'm curious with this one. Tim Anderson, Hernandez, Abreu, Eloy Jimenez, Yohan Moncada, Brian Goodwin, Luis Robert, Jake Lamb, and Sebi Zavala. So I'm there on that stack. I think that's a viable stack for me against Cole Irvin. You guys think that this could possibly be like last night where there's not a clear-cut one stack that drops 20 that you must have and we cherry pick a couple of handcuffs here? I feel like that's absolutely going to be my single entry approach tonight. And I think that's all of the lineups. Yeah, that's all the lineups we got, right? Let's get caught up on chat. And John Galicia, what's up, John? I'm going Morton, Ohtani, Albies, Nelson Cruz, and JD Martinez for the live 5. Let's go. Yeah, I think every single one of those make a ton of sense. Live 5. Do you mean live final by chance, or is live 5 just like your like core 5? Breakdowns are fine. It's hard to diversify on a 4-game slate. Yeah, it really is, and that's why like I didn't want to commit to a stream. Really, I don't think there's gonna be like a lot of curveballs, right? We all know what we're probably gonna do. Red Sox are loading up on righties. So we actually saw this Red Sox lineup against another lefty lately. I'm trying to think of who it was. It was in that. Was the Rays? I don't know. I feel like I've seen Renfroe bat second lately. And yeah, this is a disgusting lineup. And like, if you guys missed the first part of the stream or the first look video, I feel like there's a good chance the Red Sox see more than just Heaney when it comes to left-handed pitching. I think Lucas Lickey gets into this game. I think Zach Britton could see some time. Joely Rodriguez, part of the Gallo trade, probably could see some time in this game. And if you saw that first Yankees-White Sox game, the one that was in Field of Dreams, they backed up Heaney with all lefties. So I don't know if it's I don't think it's on purpose, but I think looking at the people that they used yesterday, Chad Green, Jonathan Loaizica, some of the higher leverage arms, I just think naturally they're gonna have to lean on the lefties, and they don't have an off day for a while. So if they have to wear it, they have to wear it and just get into a shootout, hopefully, and hopefully we score more than them. But the matchup is just so pure for the Red Sox to get into some power against Heaney, How do you feel about Jack Flaherty? I think Jack Flaherty's fine. Good park at home, very low total. The only pushback on Flaherty would be looking at the top of the player pool here, or the pitching player pool. Peralta, Lynn, Morton. There's Flaherty. Ohtani's a little bit cheaper. We talked about Greinke, more than likely going to go 6-7 innings there. Marco Gonzalez, Tariq Skubal. Flaherty might have a glass ceiling in terms of pitch count to hold him back. Just came back on the 13th through 81. So usually plus 10, plus 15. So 90, 95 would be great, but it's not guaranteed. And maybe, you know, some of these other guys have a more guaranteed 90. That's my only pushback. Other than that, I think he's fine to be another contender to drop 25 plus DKP if he's on one. So I like him, but I do think, you know, his pitch ceiling might just be arguably lower than some of his peers because of his absence and because of him maybe trying to get stretched back out. But 90 is fine, right? Most of the pitchers we play only throw 90 pitches, so don't let that spook you off. That's just like my one knock if I had to split some hairs. What isn't cool for it because it's 5? Yeah, chat. If you guys got anything else, drop it in chat. We got a little bit of time to chill out. Remember, Osmo does a really good stream. I think they'll be at the top of the hour or 3:45, 4:45. So you guys use some of the information that you've already researched here. And they're going to give you a lot of good context to the DFS side in terms of ownership and leverage, how to leverage it. So yeah, I like to focus on the research itself though. So don't forget to check that out on the Osmo channel. So it sounds like tomorrow we might do full-on breakdowns on the channel, and I don't think we have to live stream it. So I'll come up with something. So there will be something here waiting for you guys tomorrow, and then we'll be back Friday afternoon with the live stream, and then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you can catch me on the Osmo channel. How much Braves do you want? So I guess a fun exercise here would be to rank my favorite stacks. Mathematically, if I take this cap off, I think the Red Sox have an incredibly high chance to be one of the best stacks on the slate. They seem like the most likely stack to give you 5 homers in just an onslaught. I don't want to see it, but that's what it feels like to me. So Red Sox are probably going to be up there for me. Yankees will be up there as well. I think that game could just get a little bit shootouty. I was hoping for a more righty-heavy Rays lineup, but this Orioles pitching staff is not going to push me away. I'm going to be on the Rays stack. Lazardo's bad. I do think the Marlins bullpen is average plus, and the park is pitcher plus. So to say I have 100% to give away, I'd probably go to 8% Braves. And in contrast, I would probably be on 16-17% Red Sox, but that would also be probably something that has to be a little bit more relative to the field, and I don't know where the field's at on either stack, but 8% is kind of where I would land in 100 line or 150. In 20 lineups, in my 20 entry max, I usually just try to find either 4 stacks to stack 5 times each, or 5 stacks to stack 4 times each. And Braves will probably make the cut on that, but it would be Red Sox 1, unfortunately. Bomb detector. We want the bomb detector. All right, we can do that. Somebody left a comment this morning, and it was like, you should do a first look at the bomb detector. So the bomb detector isn't. The bomb detector is a live algorithm, but it's live versus what the lineup on the index portal is. If you guys, I guess it is hard to see the index portal on the YouTube side, but we actually have the bomb ratings for each game and each player. And essentially the magic number is 4. Anything above 4 is there. So if you guys do see the screen on the first look video, you do get the bomb ratings. But I guess to put it in context versus the field of players, yeah, Nelson Cruz at the very top of the bomb detector today. Then it's Kyle Seager and then Salvador Perez. I like Cruz and Salvi the most. I think Salvi's the biggest problem for Zach Greinke today. Cruz is just on fire. Then we got Hunter Renfroe, JD Martinez in the top 10 to justify the Red Sox stacks, and then a bunch of ATL. So we will probably post this on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker, about 30-40 minutes before main slate locks. So if you guys aren't on Twitter, or if you're on Twitter and for some reason you don't follow me, why, man? Show me some love. Who are your top 3 batters, and do you consider BVP at all? I usually don't look at BVP. It's fun. Like yesterday, Joey Votto had massive numbers on Kyle Hendricks. That was cute. But BVP is not really a predictive metric. It's reactive, and it extracts all of the context of the at-bat and all of the context of the park, the context of the situation. So usually it's just very noisy, short sample size stuff. It's fun to look at, but it's not something that I would include as part of my process. We do have a BVP tab, but no, it's really not quantifiable data. Every now and then you'll get a guy that has 40, 50 at-bats, 60 at-bats, like Mike Trout versus Felix Hernandez, Bryce Harper versus Julio Teheran, stuff like that, and you just kind of buy into it because it's fun, but usually it's just extremely noisy, less than 10 at-bats in 3 years, Can we peep yeah, we put the bottom tech there. What are the bottom tech? Who are the top 3 batters? Okay, so top 3 batters. Probably Nelson Cruz for sure. JD Martinez is up there for me. And if we're just trying to diversify, Ozzie Albies, JD Martinez, and Nelson Cruz, top 3 batters. If you start with them in a single entry, I think you're onto a good start, Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this bang and maybe go make me a hot pocket. If you guys want to continue the conversation, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord, and you guys can jump in to the voice chat in about 40 minutes. Talk it up as we get closer to lock. I am going to be making my player pool in the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet. So if you guys want to cross-reference yours with mine, my tiers and pitching where I'm at, all that's going to be there. Hope you guys crush it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.